Welcome back everybody to LBS Response to episode number 36. In today's video, going to be a shorter one. Last week did not perform as well as the week beforehand. Coming in with just less views, less engagement as a whole. But there are still a few questions, and again, want to keep it up weekly to kind of keep the train rolling. So let's get into it, guys. We have a couple of questions for this week, episode number 36, getting up there. Over 3/4 of the way to 100. Can't wait till that number gets hit. But let's move on to the first one, guys, from Miss Productions. He says, what do you think was the most underpriced UCS set? I assume he means. He says UCD, but I'm not too sure what that would mean. So I'm just going to go off of UCS sets. And that would have to be the 2006 or 7 ATST. It was $80, for like 1,000 pieces, I want to say, around there, like 900 or 1,000 pieces. Just in general, for a large scale ATST like that, only $80. Granted, it was 12, 13 years ago. I still think they could have charged at least 100, if not like 120, and people still would have bought it up. And just having something, a UCS at under $100, with still the right price per piece, I feel like that's probably the most underpriced. Set as a whole, just underpriced for what they could have got for it, and in general, one of the top 3 cheapest UCS sets, retail wise, ever. So there is the answer to that, guys. Moving on to Kai Love. He says, what's your thoughts on the second arc of season 7 of Star Wars: The Clone Wars? In my opinion, it wasn't perfect and it has some issues and the story. And yeah, I agree with that. I think the first episode of the arc was utterly just boring, and then moving on to like the second episode, it got a touch better, a smidge better, but not that much. Then the third episode was pretty much just got right back to where it began. It was just a big circle. And then the last episode was cool, but again, it kind of sucked, that there wasn't more of that spread throughout the the episodes. I know Bo-Katan was in episode 3 and 4 of it. I wish there's more, Darth Maul, Crimson Dawn, the Shadow Collective. I wish there was more of that spread throughout those 4 episodes. But altogether, definitely the weakest arc out of the 3 this season. And, again, sorry for that last episode of the arc. All 3 of them were pretty boring. So there's pretty much my thoughts on that. Penetrate says, do you think we need a Lego Star Wars Clone Wars TV show because the Clone Wars TV show is ending? I think that would be cool. I don't think they would do that. I know Lego's done with the Yoda Chronicles, Freemaker Adventures, and that doesn't really blow over too well for them. I know the Yoda Chronicles had to have done decently well. I know even some of those figures and sets, like, they go for a decent amount. Like, the Yoda Chronicles was halfway decent for what it was, but I don't really see them doing that, although it would be cool. I don't think it's, in the works for them, and I just don't see it ever happening, really. Moving on to GF, Rob says, any tips on making a mid-scale mock? I'm making a clone based on Tatooine right now because I got really inspired by your Malastare mock. Thanks, man. It's appreciated. The Malastare mock is definitely a classic for me. Pieces, figs, sets, great content. Keep it up. Appreciate it, man. So yeah, pretty much my tips on a mid-scale mock, like if you're going maybe maybe half of a 6-foot table, like maybe 4 gray base plates, if not like 6 or 8 green base plates. Again, just even like some of these replies were saying, keep your budget in hand. If you're walking in not wanting to spend more than like $200, then you really gotta kind of see what you can fit into your budget first, and then something I've always lacked, just for the fact of I'm kind of lazy, is definitely try to go through your own collection first. I've got hundreds of thousands of pieces, in my own collection, but just for the past 4 years, they have never been sorted fully. That's what I'm trying to do nowadays, and I feel like I'd be able to save a lot of money and probably get stuff done a lot quicker if everything in my collection was sorted. And, I went through my collection first and, worked with what I had and always kind of knew what I had, in reserve. If you're starting from complete scratch, though, again, your best thing, budget, and honestly, Bricklink. Bricklink for parts-wise, it's the way to go. Sometimes on eBay you might find some figure deals, but definitely I would check Bricklink for that. And I know with all this quarantine stuff on, you might not want to go to Walmart, but if you're looking for any sets on shelves now, Walmart's your way to go, in my opinion. If not, Walmart.com and Amazon.com, still have relatively the same prices. So that's pretty much my recommendations on that right there. Moving on to Cole Greason says, what is your favorite 1999 or 2000 Lego Star Wars set? And that has got to be, looking back, probably the Tan AAT. I think that is one of the sets, from those 2 years that definitely still lives up to today's standards, kind of. When you compare it to some other stuff like Sith Infiltrator, Gungan Sub, all those other ones, got really one-upped with their new variants, but that Tan AAT, in all honesty, I think that's better than the 2014 one or 2015 one. So there's my thoughts on that. Let's see. Our Toy World says, which missing/retired Lego YouTuber would you like to see return? And that's a tough one. Offhand, I actually have a whole video coming out on this, so I'm not going to go too much into it. I've had a video in the works to kind of talk about everyone that just where do they go and who's missing kind of thing. But definitely like Friction Pen was one. I know, what were their names? Not the Brick Central. It was, or Lego Show Reviews. I know I was watching them for a long time. It was like a group of 3 sisters. I know they used to do a lot of stuff, and they just like quit back in like 2015, 2016. Honestly, there's a lot of those, so definitely stay tuned for that video, though, guys. I'll go more into detail on my thoughts on all that, and also, I mean, I've got like a list of like 25 of them, that I've come up with, and I still have, more and more people, come to me day by day, with new names and new people that I kind of even, totally forgot about, that are going to be in that video. Moving on to another one from Our Toy World says, would you be open to joining a lug again, whether it's virtual or in person? If not, why? I know I made a video like this like 2 years ago, back in like maybe October of 2017. When I first got kicked out of Rebel Lug, I made a little, I made a video on that, of course. And then like the following week, I made a, am I gonna join a new lug video? Kind of just the drama that was back then, and kind of just answering it. And I mean, in all reality, I'm not really, focused on that right now. Rebel Lug, I mean, for what it's worth, I mean, they're not really doing that much stuff anymore. Empire Lug is definitely kind of taking it over, like in that realm of things, Both of them, I mean, I know they're both mutual friends doing a lot of stuff, but I just know more people are inactive in Rebel Lug. I still keep close ties with most of the people in Rebel Lug. If I had to choose between Empire and Rebel Lug, I of course know more people through Rebel Lug than Empire Lug, although I get along with some of the people in both. I mean, I still talk to them, a decent amount. It's just, I feel like until I get everything situated with making like congruent mocks, like every week, every month, I just don't feel like it'd be worth my time. And again, that's kind of where things went into play when I got kicked from Rebel Lug. I mean, 2 things. I guess I virtually bullied somebody through a DM, 2 years ago. And I wasn't able to get a collab mock done just because family issues. My mom was, sick and all that, and just wasn't able to come over here as much. So that was pretty much the only reason why I ever got kicked. So, I mean, really looking back at it, I mean, it didn't really benefit me that much. I mean, I never got, like, lug bulk. I never got, discount through other sites. I mean, or at least I didn't take advantage, or I'm not going to say advantage of them, but I never used them throughout the time I was in the lug. So looking back, I mean, I feel like I'm not really missing a lot of stuff. But if I were to really go back into a lug, I mean, I would be open to it. I mean, if they offered, or, a Brick World or something like that, we talked about it again. But at the current moment, I'm not like, trying to get into a new lug, if that makes any sense. But here we go, guys. That's all the questions for this week. It looks like it was still quite a few, though, honestly, more than even the week before, I think. But yeah, leave your question down below for next week, guys. Episode number 37. Hopefully, these next couple get back on track. They're doing really well. I'm not sure why the last one didn't do that well. About 300 views in a couple days. About, subpar for what these videos have been doing. And honestly, guys, one more thing I wanted to add into a video like this. I'll say it again in another video at some point, but I really do want to thank all of you guys for all the, the positive notes and, just support. Through this time of my life right now. I know I've brought up the breakup thing a couple times. A lot of you guys have. Truthfully, I've read all of your guys' comments. I try to reply to most. I try to heart, all of them. At least, let you guys know that I acknowledged your comment, and it is appreciated. A lot of you guys, like, truthfully, even just random people. Even if you and I haven't talked, personally before, your comments, they do. It's nice hearing other people's opinions. That aren't, my family or my real life friends. It's nice hearing just real world people. comments and stuff like that. So it's really appreciated. You know, coming from, even one was saying, you know, that it's probably not best I'm putting this, you know, the more and more I talk about this in videos and stuff like that, the more and more it just won't leave my mind. I've kept my head pretty clear. I've truthfully not been that like sad and down about it. I've really kind of learned to just kind of push forward. I mean, there's really no going back at this point. Like, I mean, I'd be mutual with her, but it's like there's no going back. So it's like I gotta just say to myself, I gotta keep pushing forward. And honestly, I appreciate all of you guys, you know, commenting, you know, sending me DMs on Instagram, and it's appreciated. I love all of you guys. I truthfully do. You know, it's awesome that I have this, you know, to fall back onto, and I really hope to, again, with absolutely zero restrictions now, you know, take this, you know, full on serious again. You know, not have to, you know, quit anytime soon. You know, of course, still do my real career, you know, as my main thing. But you know, I'm going to be very thankful to, you know, continue to be able to do this for a long time here, guys. So I want to thank you guys all for watching again. This is the official end. Big shout out to everybody. Can't thank you guys enough. I appreciate every last one of you guys for all the things you do. You know, subscribing, liking, commenting, you know, but anything, and especially even this breakup thing. You know, I appreciate it all, guys. So I'll see you guys all in the next one, guys. Leave your questions down below. Bye, guys. Say 5% off on your next LEGO purchase. Be sure to use code LIFEBRICK. That's capital LIFE BRICK at republicbricks.com for 5% off your next order. We'll pretty much pay for your shipping or get you a couple dollars off. They sell old LEGO minifigures, sets, mystery boxes, and more. I've got a couple of videos on my channel showing the products, so be sure to use code LIFEBRICK on your next order for 5%.